Thank you, Madam Chair. Good to see you, Mr. Secretary.
Likewise.
A couple of my colleagues have already mentioned the Gateway project, and so I just want to start by thanking you for the work that you've already done. It's really great for us to have such a strong and true partner in recognizing that we need to replace this 110-year-old tunnel and the infrastructure around it. I'm really grateful for the FTA's quick action in reversing that Trump-era policy that counted federal loans as part of the federal share of big projects like that. That was an important step. And you've mentioned already today the need to get the environmental impact statement done. We also need to re-rate the project. So thank you for the work you're doing with our local and regional authorities. I'd say the only question that I would ask is, barring unforeseeable events, would you say that these administrative steps that you're going through are steps that could be completed this year?
Well, I'll tell you, when it comes to the updated environmental impact statement, knowing that obviously there's a lot of different players involved in FRAs working with New Jersey Transit, the Port Authority, and others on a detailed schedule, we intend for that part of the NEPA process to be complete in the second quarter of this year. So I know there are a lot of other hurdles and funding pieces in play, but I want to at least share that much, that we're very much hoping to get that meet that timeline.
That's fantastic. We want to see the work getting done. You've mentioned the economic importance of this project, not just to our region, but to the country. It's 20% of the national GDP. And, I would just ask all of us to imagine what would happen if the one railway tunnel that connects New York with everything south of New York were to disintegrate, which is what will happen if we don't replace it. So again, thank you for your work on that. And let me make a broader point. When we think about this project back in New Jersey, we're not just thinking about our daily commutes. There's something even more fundamental, I think, going on here. And that is a sense that the United States needs to build big things again, and that we haven't been doing that in recent years. You mentioned the interstate highway program in your testimony. That was in its time a big and transformational project. It revolutionized how we get around in America. Do you by chance know how much the interstate highway system cost in today's dollars, just by comparison, Mr. Secretary?
I want to say it's in the neighborhood of 250 billion, but I'm not sure if I have my inflation math right.
Yeah, so it's more in today's dollars. It was about 1.1 trillion. So we were thinking big then, and we did it again, partly for highway safety and efficiency. But in fact, Eisenhower said it was as important to our national defense as to our national economy. We were thinking about the Cold War at the time, and we wanted to show the world that America could do big and bold things. And here we are in 2021, and arguably the greatest predictable economic transformation in modern history is the transition to clean energy. So if we're going to do something big and bold, obviously it would not be just redoing the interstate highway system. Others have mentioned China. Let me just ask you, is the Chinese government, in looking to compete with us, are they looking to compete with us in building highway overpasses or gas-powered pickup trucks?
Well, I take your point. China or the United States will lead the transition to clean energy, and I want it to be the United States. And when it comes to big, bold vision more broadly, Chinese infrastructure averages about 8% of their GDP, and we expect that may increase. We're at 2.4 here in the U.S., and I believe it shows.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think someone else tried to needle you about a China first economic and climate policy. If our inaction were to allow China to get there first, wouldn't that be a China first policy?
Well, it would literally mean China is first to lead the world in clean energy and in these transitions. And again, I would much rather see America be the first in that regard. Why let
Exactly.
China lead us in infrastructure? We should be leading the way.
Thank you, sir. I yield back.
Thank you.